time frames now. Okay, so this is all we're going to be doing. Time frames. I just gave you guys a hint like this of what this tricks, but we're going to see it. Who knows where is the time frames of the salahs?
Yeah.
So guys, look at the connections here. Here it says 2 time frames. Here's 1. Here we saw that there's 2 names, and here there's 1. This is all designed by Allah. So this is going to answer that question. Why is Dhahira, the middle or noon or something mentioned,
Yeah.
and not Wusta was not mentioned here? And why is Wusta here and is
Subhanallah,
unique?
miracle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so very important. So okay, what are the time frames mentioned here?
I'm not
So
sure.
remember, guys. I gave you.
Isha.
Remember, there's a hint here. Has to if there's a connection like
Oh,
this,
dude.
so it has to be Fajr and Isha. It's exactly this. We're gonna see the verse. Don't worry. But without even looking at the verse, I mean inside the verse, the numbers are going to tell us the answers. That's
Should
why
be
this is
Wusta.
super important to do these. Remember, you will notice this when you master it, but then it gets deeper. Then you go, bro, Allah did all this on purpose. It's not a coincidence. Okay, there's no coincidence. I can guarantee you guys, there's no coincidence.
Go
So
on, go
hold
on.
on, this is one time frame. It's over here. So what is this time frame? Wusta. Let's go check now. Let's go analyze 1:11 and do the tricks for it. Okay. So what just happened right now was new storytelling was into your brains for this right here. Now you guys have more additional reinforcement to remember 2458, and 238. Okay, 238. 200, this number, 238. There's another cool thing just to remember that I just remembered right now is, oh, yeah, oh, bro, exactly. Uranium's 238. Okay, so this is a really important thing. Okay, so uranium can have plutonium, the isotopes. So this is how they discovered that they can create atomic bombs. They needed this number 238. It's super special. So 238 is a very special number. I know, guys, it's a very extreme stuff, but again, in my little science world, this is really unique. This number was the golden number for them to crack the code of making the ultimate bomb. So 238 is a really awesome number, just to let you know. But these are things that you want to know, right? All right, guys, let's jump back here. So 1114. Let's just close this. Now, so this has 11. This everything tells there's 1 1. What is that? So that there's 2 Salah time frames, and 114. You can just say there's 114 surahs in the Quran. You can always say there's 2 Salahs. I know one of them has 114. Boom. It's easy. This is a special number, right? You should know, like, this is the total number of surahs in the Quran. 114, unique, nice. 6 verse 114, the one you just brought out, was another way that I actually use too. Cool. Okay. You have 11, 11, like a pair, right? Another 2, like that. You have 4. Again, this is dividable by 2, which is 2. There's 4 ones. So the goal is, guys, right now I do all of this naturally. I don't even say that. I just look at it. I just start seeing these things. This is the whole point today, right now, of this conversation. Okay, today. So you do this. Okay, cool. Now what I say? Aqimi salata tarafi nahar. So at both tarafi is in dual sense context in Arabic. Tarafi in nahar. So you have the both ends of the nahar. So the day has 2 ends. So this is really the key thing. And here is where it gets interesting. And at the approach, this should be approaches, plural, was zulufan. Zuluf is in plural. Minal layl. This is a huge one, okay? And we have to actually understand the proper wording, okay? So what zulufan, okay? Zuluf is in plural. So yeah, this is so here. Let's just understand of Quranic stuff first, okay? So this translation is incorrect, okay? So there's a plural. Let's see who actually does it. So some watches. So he's saying some. So this is plural. He's trying to put it here. He goes approaches. So he does it good. First hours. Okay, so of the night. So this is interesting, but it's not the word hours. But I kind of see why he's using that. Beginning of the wrong hours of the night. Ana ilay. So this is not the right word, but you see why they're doing it. So, but the point is, there's a plural of night. So the question really, there's a lot of things to understand. In the Quran, the night is plural. Okay, meaning it has, then we're going to see that in Surah Muzammil, okay, Surah 73, the last verse, 20, okay? So in here's a big, little, somewhat of a big verse. So your Lord knows that you are going to stand, okay? Almost 2/3 of the night, or half of it, or a third of it. So you have thulathay layl, so 2/3, wa nisfah, so a half or half of it, wa thuluthahu, or 1/3 here. So the night is divided into three. Even though the word layl is like singular, but it does. This is how Allah wrote it. Night has three portions. You have to, this is a Quranic fact right here. Boom, proof right here. So now when we go here, what are the three portions of the night? Okay, so literally so here they divide it into four, but in reality, this astronomical twilight. So what, see this little line right here, this line? Okay, this is where it really is. This is, look at 1, 2, 3. Not the steps between that. This threes is what Allah is referring to. This phase change is 1. Phase change is 2. Phase change is 3. Okay? So now what Allah is saying here, now if we, so this right here, this is the day. Let's, perfect. This is better. So now you guys see the 3 nights, okay, 3 approaches, okay? And it's very important to understand this. So here is the both ends, right? Sunset, sunrise, sunset. So in this example here, the sun is going from here and is going like this, right? It's going left, right? It's rising up like this from the right here, and is going to the middle, then going to the left, like that. That's what this image would illustrate. Now let's go to the verse. Okay, so we don't need this, okay? You guys know there's 3 approaches, okay? This is what the verse says, okay? We don't need this anymore, and that's your proof. And here, let's go back here. So now it says, at the approaches of the night. So what does it say? Establish Salat at 2 ends of the day, at the approaches of the night. Now, the word and here, okay, wa. This wa, the and, no one sees it, but this is where it gets a little bit advanced. The Arabic, the wa has a lot of rules, okay? The most basic rule that everyone knows is the wa, meaning and. Everyone knows that. That's not a wow thing, you know? The other rules, there's many. For example, swearing. Wal fajri, or wallah, you know, there's the wa that swears upon Allah, or swears with the fajr or something. And the next word would have a genitive context. It will be wa fajri, wallahi. Okay, that's one rule. Then there's what Ismet just wrote right there. There's the wa haliya. Very famous wa haliya. The wa haliya, let's use this one. أو كالذي. Okay, let's just look at this in Arabic. أو كالذي مر على قرية. Or as the one who passed by a township. Okay, أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها. وهي. This wa is not ever nobody translated as and. You're gonna see everyone is gonna start saying. This guy doesn't even say it. He says and. That's really scary that he doesn't hear the Arabic here. Him too. And that was fallen, so he sees it here. But this is so super obvious. But this rule this is not an allegory. This is not a mutashabihat verse. This is absolutely muhkamat. It's clear as day. ironically, were clear as day, and so on. So but you have to know this rule in Arabic. And then there's many more. There's the wa that always normally starts in the beginning of the verse. This is kind of like the A capital in English, where the first letter has to be capitalized, right? Like this. It's a rule. Okay, in Arabic, you have to put the and in front, but it also means and. And there's other rules, okay, guys? There's other stuff. We don't need to go into all that. The one we just need to know is that there's the haliya rule, that meaning it's a continuation. It follows through. Meaning in English, it is which, WHICH. It continues, or that, or something like that. So here it means like, so if you look at it as and, so that means so you can see it as, okay, there's two ends of the day, and this could mean a third time frame. So there is that possibility, but this can also say وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةُ طَرَفِي النَّهَارِ وَزُلُفًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ, meaning it's while the approaches of the night for the both ends. So this is a high level, but in reality it's not that high. But the only reason why I'm saying it's a high level is because nobody here saw that, except a few people that I know, that I've read online back in the days. So now if you look at it, but even as and, it still doesn't mean it's a third night. There is an option. And guys, you have to know all of this. If you're going to be a master of what we're talking about, which you are going to be, inshallah, I hope so, guys. You have to know everything I just said. Okay? It's very important, because this problem right here, you are 100% going to have it. I got this question so many times, and then I made a video, you can refer to it, but you need to understand it. But you need to know and understand there is a while or which, and so on. While the approaches of the night. Wa zulufan min al-layl. It's really nice. Okay, now that you know those rules, and we go back to this picture. So here, sunrise. Okay, sunrise. So the sun is going this way up, right? Allah says to approach the salah here, at the approaches of the night. So downwards, right? Of the multiple of this way, right? Exactly. So it's not after. So the question is it so is the end of the prayer before sunrise or after sunrise? Okay, if it's at the approaches of the night, which here is down, it's before, and the approaches more towards the night is somewhere around here, right? So this one is, and we see what the definition of Fajr is after anyways. We know it's right here. So now this one 100% confirms Fajr. So the question, this is the secret question. Okay, so let's go back here. What is it before before sunrise or sunset? This is the question. Is it before sunrise or sunset? And the answer is the verse that says right after, at the approaches of the night. Okay, this right here, while at the approaches of the night. So now if you go back, this one, sunrise, okay, before, so before is the approaches of the night. Sunset is after sunset, right? The approaches of the night is after, right? Okay, and just to end this ayah, that's something special here, okay? Even though it's different about time framing, but Allah says, Innal hasanati yudhibana sayyi'at. Very beautiful thing. Allah says the hasanats are removing or taking away the sayyi'at. That means salah is a form of hasanat that erases sayyi'at. Such a huge thing. So salat this is a very benefits of salah that we're going to see later on. We're going to come back to this verse. We just want to bring that out. ذَلِكَ ذِكْرَى لِلذَّاكِرِينَ. So that means the remembrance of Allah has the power of erasing sins. Okay, such a huge thing. So salah is huge, how this verse ends. Okay, so just wanted to put that as a side note. All right, let's go back here. So that's one time frame that we just saw. We're gonna come back to this one because there's a confusion verse around this. Okay, we're gonna see that and the next one was Surah 17:78. So this again, one last thing, 11:14. So the goal is, okay, this one has two time frames. So when that means two time frames, that means there's a beginning beginning and end. That's a time frame. There's a beginning and end. Okay, a time frame just doesn't mean the name of the time. That's what we have here, 24:58 and 2:38. This is just saying al-wusta in the middle. This is fajr and isha. These are names. These are also timings, but it's not a real time frame. This is a time frame. There's a beginning and end. So that means, what is the beginning here? So the beginning would be so let's go to so here Fajr has a special time frame that is in 187. Okay, and this is again another number to 100% memorize. The 187 is a very famous number in English, where it's like there's the 187 code when they're gonna unfortunately assassinate someone. There's a thing called 187. It's a code for homicide and stuff like that for police officers. It's just it's a weird thing, but 187 is a very famous wording in English. So I know I like that, but this is huge. But this is also very useful for Ramadan. Okay, so everybody, where does it say that you have how to break your fast and so on? 187. So now let's just keep it as what's cool is that the 78 here, or the 87, the reverse is 78, right? So we can see some little connections here like that. But this is giving you the timing of Fajr, where you have where the white thread of dawn of Fajr becomes distinct to you from the black thread. So the white thread is somewhere around here. So Allah's really pinpointing where the Fajr kind of like ends. So basically, Fajr is like, so let's say, I think it's like, actually, sorry, around the nautical twilight. So around here, and basically this spot right here. And this is, again, in the approaches of the night. Okay, approaches of the night, right, goes this way. So here, this little zone, because this is night, this is not Fajr. Fajr is like, it starts getting dark blue. You can see it's like dark blue. Let's say night, let's say this dark blue is like 3 a.m. Let's just say 3 a.m. right here. And this is going to be like 3:50. Like there's like sometimes 50 minutes, sometimes like 30 minutes, sometimes maybe maybe a little bit more. You have a little bit of time here. But then it becomes very clear as daylight outside. Now, technically speaking, this zone is all perfect timing for Fajr. Like to be like perfect, it's kind of hard. So you kind of have this zone of perfect timing for Fajr. You have like a big gap, which is very special and unique. So between nautical and astronomical, okay? This zone, okay, there's two zones of night. They are still considered a night zone, or zulufan min al-layl. Okay, so the approaches of night, but this zone, in more specific, is Fajr. Okay, Allah calls this Fajr. So now, as it gets to civil, and again, it depends where you live, the atmospheric conditions. If it's cloudy, if it's like polluted, there's a lot of atmospheric conditions that could make it look a mix. Here, it's all good. It's you're kind of getting a little bit late. I won't say you're like badly late, but you're getting late. Okay, you have to look towards the east, because if you look towards the west during sun, like here is black. All this is even if here is like blue, here's black. So you have to look east, because that's where the sun is rising and / nahar is coming from. Okay, but you have two things coming out from the east. So if you look towards the west, it's going to be dark a long timer, much longer. So you're probably, maybe, I don't know where you're looking at, okay? So go outside next time in the morning. Just do what you're doing normal. Just do what you're doing, okay? Do what you're doing. Go outside, look towards the east. Take your phone out, look at the east. That's the real place of looking where this is. You can identify this. So you're looking for so you're going to see like see how it's like white like this? Yeah. This is kind of like the end of Fajr right here. The only way you can actually to properly see, remember, if there's buildings in front of you, if there's a lot of things in front of you, you won't see this. It's hard. You have to really look at the horizon. That's another problem. You're always we tend to be lazy, right? When it's morning early, you're waking up, it's like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, depending on the time of the year, right? Because Fajr alternates. Okay, it fluctuates. It's different in the world. But you should still, when it's a clear sky, just look at it with your eyes. First of all, it's beautiful. So you say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. It's just Allah. Look at Allah's signs, right? Just see it, match it with the time. So this is showing you're intelligent. You're verifying the you're confirming. But this is the white thread right here. This little white line here, this tiny little white-ish line. It actually looks like when you look at it in the horizon style. So it's something like, but it's like you can like in Saudi Arabia, it's much clearer. Ironically, in their world, they have a beautiful white line. It's like a clean little white line, and you see. But this is like you're looking at a flat horizon, and most of us don't have that view. You know what I mean? You have to imagine you're above. You will see like a perfect white line here, like that. So that is like such a beautiful thing. Boom. That's the end of Fajr. Okay, or technically speaking, it's like you're getting at the borderline. You know what I mean? Like borderline Fajr. After the so the sunrise in the morning, can you still perform Fajr? Yes, but Fajr has a special explanation. We're gonna see that right now, actually. Okay, so now we're at 1778. Okay, and again, everything is interconnected, guys. You're gonna see the interconnections. So we saw that one more two time frames, two names, one time frame. You just said this, Amir, and it's connected to this one. Now, how do we see Wusta connection? Okay, Wusta connection. We see 2, 2, 38. So the first connection is the 8. They both have 8s in it. Okay, so it's very important. So now, how do we know Surah 17? 17. Interesting. And then this one, 7 plus 8 is 15. Okay. 78 is a odd number because it's 8. It's not a prime number. 79 would be a prime. Okay, I'm just giving you guys some stuff. Al-Isra, very huge surah. Okay. Is there any connections with the name we're gonna see here? So 2, 3, 8. What is this? 8 plus 3, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you have 15, and this one gives you 15 too. So there's like a 15 connection here between the two sums. Again, guys, I know this sounds primitive and basic, but storytelling. Always remember. It's a huge thing, guys. Remember, guys, this is level 1.
Jeez, man.
We have a lot to go through. Okay, we're only in the time frame. And again, remember, this is not a matter of the subject. I know you guys know the subject pretty good. Some better than others. I know that. That's not the point. The point is mastery.
Yeah.
Huge difference. And you guys are going to see this is going to be extremely beneficial. Extremely. I'm telling you, not just for Salah, but every other subject after. But we're going to do one thing at a time. Let's 100% master Salah. You'll easily be able to master everything else, bi'idnillah, if Allah wills, by Allah's permission. Okay, let's go to 1778. Now we're in the verse. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So aqimis salata liduluki shams. So establish the salah at the declining of the sun. So the duluk. This is a unique word. Okay, at duluk. This is also related to perspective. The wording. Back in the days, I didn't realize that. But now that when you understand how this works, why Allah used this important word, is like how the sun is descending in a perspective way. Because it's not really, is it really going down, or is it just because of how we're positioned? So Allah used a really unique word. This little decline word is a word that I don't properly know in English, but it means like how things decline with perspective, which is huge. Liduluki shamsi ila ghasaqil layl. So here until the ghasaq al-layl. So what is al-ghasaq al-layl? We're going to see that. A lot of people, the darknesses of the light and the night. Ghasaq is also known as this is actually the nautical and astronomical twilight. So the ghasaq is actually known as one of the twilights in classical and common Arabic. So wusta, what is it saying? The declining of the sun. Okay, so the sun is is zahira. So if we go back to Surah 24, verse 58, right? That's where the three names were mentioned, right? 24:58, boom. And remember, the middle one wasn't mentioned, right? right here. Where is it? What am I looking at? Right here. Okay. So and وَحِينَ تَدْعُونَ. Okay. So here you go. And when you put aside your clothing, at so min al-dhahira. Okay. So at the noon. So this is why isn't wusta mentioned? Because wusta is not directly in the center. It is when the sun is going downwards to ila towards ila towards the ghasaqil layl. So this it doesn't mean necessarily that the final ending of the timing of wusta is here, which it also does mean this at the darknesses of the night or the twilight of the dark twilight of night, but it also means towards that direction. Okay, ila is like till or ila, towards. Okay, and now there's so this is the time frame. So this is huge. So let's go back to that drawing here that we had. Let's keep it like this. So the sun is here, sunrise going up like this. Boom, middle point, the dhahira. Okay, dhahira. So right here, this, and now Allah saying when the sun is here is going like just when it goes towards the left, literally in English terms afternoonish. So you will see, you go outside, you look in front of you towards the south, right? The sun is never in the north, it's always towards the southeast to southwest, right? That's what it is. We're in the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere is the opposite. So you will see the sun in front of you. You will see it's in an angle. It's actually going to be towards the right if you're in the northern hemisphere, but in this drawing, it's going to be towards the left. So you're going to see the sun here. You literally see it not perpendicular in front of you. When it's in front of you, it's middle. It's obvious. So it's like towards the left here. Boom. Right here, all of this is the wusta time frame. And that is pretty interesting. Like this. So until here, this zone, civil and nautical twilight. Okay, so this is it's like the namings, everything's perfect in the Quran. Allah did everything perfect. So wust, but again, you don't want to wait till here. This is not Allah. We're gonna see other verses that timing is very important. Okay, this is just giving you guys. You have until all. How can you miss wusta? Oh, I was working and my shift finished at 7 p.m. and I got home. But guys, remember, in this chart right here that we're looking at, they're actually somewhat equal. Okay, here, this is like a perfect timing. Remember, the world is not perfect like this, right? There's like summer solstice, equinox, like the night is longer than the day is longer than the night. So everything is is debatable depending on the time of the year. You have to remember that. So Fajr has a specific time frame of precision. But even if you miss it, you have all the way to Dhahira, right here to the middle. But this is like bad. You're like, bro, you're like really bad if you're doing it here. This is still morning time frame. On time frame wise, on time is exactly what you just said, Hamza. Then there's being late. Okay, there's also those who are late, and that's not good. That's not a quality you want to have. Okay, so me, I like this is, and we're gonna see. Hold on, we didn't finish the verse, but we're gonna see why Fajr and Wusta are very important on timing. Isha has this. Allah doesn't put that. Isha is important for other things like memorizing the Quran, reading the Quran, then other things at night. But on timing wise, yes, it like on time stuff, which we're gonna see. There's a verse for that. This is what you. But if it breaks through here, this zone that you're in, you're not in Fajr, obviously. You're in all these other sunrise, morning, early morning, Radawa. You have other time frames, but Wusta hasn't started yet. You know what I mean? You're still in that. If you miss Fajr completely, I would recommend you still do it. Don't be like, oh, I missed it, I'm not gonna do it. No, do it. Even you're considered a late. Your title is you did let's say June 24, 2025, you were late for Fajr. You get it? That's how it's written by the angels. Now, if you do it here after Dahira, you have missed completely. You are in a new Salat zone. It's over. Exactly that verse. We're gonna see that. That verse that he brought out. We're gonna see Surah 4, verse 103 that he just brought out. When does a Salat completely become invalidated? So the question is, how after all these years is, the logic is a salah is salah. They are interconnected. Salat al-Fajr, then it goes to Salat al-Wusta, then it goes to Salat al-Isha. Okay, there's three different salahs. So normally a salah, and again, this is highly not recommended. I don't care who you are, whatever. And of course, there's excuses. I mean, if depending on how late you are, I mean, what happened in life, whatever. But other than basic excuses, like you should once it goes after noon, Fajr is guaranteed done because you have entered into Wusta zone. Once you're in Wusta zone, there is no more Fajr done. It's impossible. You're in a new Salah, and and even if you do Salah here and you're doing Wusta no matter what in this zone. Then once Wusta goes into this dark night zone here, Aisha zone is done. If you miss Wusta that whole time frame, that 8 hours that you had a chance to do it, you missed it, and you're here in this big zone here of night slash Aisha. You're in the zone of Aisha, and then once you're in the zone of Aisha, that's converting to Fajr, and then it's like really like bluish in the sky. Aisha is done here. Okay, it's done. You can no longer is done. This is the limit of this one, and because of this logic that I just told you here for Wusta and Aisha, the same logic should apply for Fajr. Fajr is the only one that has like this. Guys, yeah, you don't want to get into this zone here in Fajr, okay? However, Allah says, "La yudi'u," He doesn't waste your worship practice. So this is why you can still do it, and you want to do it because even if you're late, so the word is you're late, your goal is to become not late instead of not doing it at all. Being late is better than not doing it at all. And being on time is better than being late. So notice one. So we saw the time frame. This is Wusta time frame, right? After the declining, during the declining of the sun till the night twilight. So meaning the astronomical to sorry, the nautical twilight ish to astronomical. That's for Wusta. And then Allah brings up. He doesn't say Salatul Fajr. He says wa Quran al Fajr. Very different. And not only that, it's not like maybe he means so. No, he in al Quran al Fajr. He emphasizing no, it's Quran al Fajr. The recitation of the Quran in Fajr, kana mashhuda. So now, not only Allah saying that Wusta time frame is there's something about this Wusta time frame, but Allah also puts something with it that Fajr is also very important, that it is being mashhuda, it has been witnessed, or is being witnessed by who? Allah, obviously, and maybe most likely angels. Not most likely, definitely angels. Which kind of angels? Special angels or something else? That's the proof that there's angels in the ruh. Okay, that they're in this witness time frame. But in context of memorizing this verse, okay, with numbers and all that, this is gonna come back. So this is what? This is Wusta time frame, right, guys? Right? One. Yeah. Okay. Good. So here we have 238. So what Allah here is clearly making a distinction with Salah. That guys guard strictly your salawats, your prayers. Wa salatul wusta. So here you can see the wa has this another meaning, and you can see here in particular or especially. So the wa has another special meaning. So hafidu ala salawati wa salatil wusta. So there's like a special extra meaning. So wusta has a special meaning already to it. And then waqumu lillahi qanitin. We're gonna come back to this verse. This is some important attributes of being in salah. So if you go back to the timing of where wusta is, okay, so that means wusta is very important based on the verse where wusta is mentioned among the salawats. But even in wusta where the timing is, there's also fajr now that's being mentioned. So that Allah now shows that even fajr is uniquely special. You see that there's a very, so wusta and fajr are very special. Okay, very important. And think about it. Wusta is like most people are working during that time. It's hard. So it's a hard time frame to get through in a normal people life, right? So exactly. So 78, Fajr, Wusta, interesting. I don't know. You can see a connection here, 78. Also the 8 with the 38. Okay, 238. Boom. Okay. Now, so one thing that you guys have to know. So the first thing to understand is when the sun. So this Fajr is what? Fajr is near sunrise, right? This is where the sun is gonna come out, and this is the east. Okay, al-mashriq. Okay, so the east, and the east is a very special angle, right? So this is when you go outside or do anything, you need to know your cardinal directions, right? So east is the start of the days, but the east is also somewhere where the light, the listen to the word, the light begins, or the light emerges, or the light comes out. In other words, what light is coming, okay, from the east? It is Allah's light, okay? So in Surah 39, verse 69, okay, on the day of judgment, وَأَشْرَقَتِ الْأَرْضُ بِنُورِ رَبِّهَا. So the earth will shine, but ashraqa is from the east. From the sun, the east is a very popular thing. So the sunrise, so the where light is, okay, that's where light. The west is where the light ends. The light goes away. You know, and remember, Allah guides to the light, right? You know, Allah is the one who takes us out of the night, the darknesses into the light, right? It's a very famous saying. And the taghut, or the shayatins or whatever, they take you out from the night, from the light, and bring you into the darknesses. So here, the east is a very special place. It's connected to light and the beginning of light and all of that stuff. So that to me, that is exactly what Fajr is, right? It's the beginning of the night. Light is the beginning of daylight. It's the beginning of nur, of light, guidance, and all of that stuff. It is extremely special, right? Guys, it's a sign. We don't even know how to create light, right? So we see these amazing colors, this, that, all that. We should be there's glorifications and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's how I see that. When there's light, angels are obviously there. You know, it's light, it's beautiful, and this is a transitional phase. It's the beginning phase of the entire day to start, right? The day is going to start. So this is a very important time. So that, I believe, is probably one of the key reasons. But other than that, it's just what Allah just told us here, you know. All right, guys, we're almost done for today's level 1 lesson.